Good afternoon, teens. How are you there? You can share your comments or chat. How are you guys who are there? Wow, thanks for the smiles and the hearts and the prayers. I hope you all have a great session this afternoon. And how was your plenary session so far? How was it? Are you inspired? Grabe. I heard it was really a good lesson. So now we're 86. We're expecting 100 in this session, so we'll just wait for the others to log in. How are you guys? Go and chat. Yeah, awesome lesson though. Great. Wow, we have teens from Cavite, Quezon, West Pasig, Camanava, Cebu,
Good afternoon.
Camanava, Baguio. Wow. We have Mindoro. Hi, Sophia, kababayan. Cavite, Bulacan, Baguio. Ayan, so many of you. West Pasig, Olongapo, Cebu, Rizal, Camarines Norte. How are you there? Good. Isabela,
Pasig.
Manila, of course. Manila's here. Hi, Piel. East
QC.
and West Pasig pala to. Oh, Dagupan. Wow. So many. So many of you. 8 more and then we'll leave Tito Mel the hosting. Oo, ang gwapo na ang host ko, di ba? Thanks, Tito Ariel.
All right. Maybe we can start in 1 minute.
In a minute? Yeah. So, you can share in the chat as well what you like best about the last session. Diba? What did you like best about the last lesson sa plenary? Anybody here from Guam? Kamanava, Olongapo's here. Hi to everyone. Okay, Tito Mel, we're 101.
All right. Let's start. Again, good afternoon to everyone. My name is Romel, or you can call me Tito Mel. I'd like to welcome you to the Character and Personality Growth class. Before we begin, I'd like to introduce to you our speaker. Is no other than my beautiful wife, Michelle Guce, or we can call her Tita Mitch. Tita Mitch. Let me introduce to you Tita Mitch. Tita Mitch was baptized as a disciple of Christ when she was 16 years old, a college freshman at Pamantasan Lunsod ng Maynila. She is now 27 years old as disciples in the marriage ministry, co-leading, of course, with me in ICOC Manila. When she was a teenager, she is a Girl Scout representative. Her province to national conferences. She was also an SK chairman prior to graduating high school and was awarded a Jerry Rojas Leadership Medal when she was 17. She was shaped and mentored by awesome leaders like Weng Monhe, Lily Umali, Maria Arceliana, Marvy Dumangcas, Marian Superior, and now by Susan Lastrado. Her career is currently she is now the first vice president and head of the HR services at Malayan Insurance Company, the biggest non-life insurance company in the Philippines. She has more than 20 years of experience in human resources management, where she applied her master's in organizational psychology from the Ateneo de Manila University, especially in the areas of organizational development, quality management, experience design, leadership, and culture management. She has more than her career in HR extended to external organizations like PMAP, Philippine Management Association of the Philippines, where she was conferred as a fellow. She was the National Vice President of People Management Association of the Philippines in 2018. The premier organization, human resource professional in the country with over 1,500 organizations in the country as the vice president for PIMA. She headed the planning and organizing the 55th PIMAP annual conference, the largest gathering of people managers in the Philippines. Her personal advocacy circles around designing programs to improve human experience in the workplace and preserving the Pinoy's value for families even at work. As her true calling with me, Mitch supports the Teens Ministry. We're part of the Teens Ministry in Manila of the International Churches of Christ together with the team of coordinators. They mentor the youth, including our own three boys. To have positive choices, train them as responsible citizens, and develop them to become youth leaders in their schools and community. Again, without further ado, I'd like to give the floor to Tita Mitch. Thank you.
Wow. Thanks, Tito Mel, for the very generous and endearing introduction, as always. And you know that Tito Mel and I were both baptized as teens. We were 16 when we were baptized. And guess what? We have the same spiritual mom. And that's Tita Zerlin from Bulacan. So we have one spiritual mom, same person who reached out to us when we were teenagers. So good afternoon, teens, and welcome to the first ever Philippine Teen Conference entitled Closer. And of course, we're not just Philippines today. Yes, we're all over the Philippines, but we are also uh, joined by Guam. So that's really wonderful. So today, my lesson is divided into 6 parts. Uh, One is what we are made of. Two, dichotomy of personality and character. Three, labels and personalities. Four, I'll talk about the weird principle. And then five, being lit about character. And then six, we'll end up with some character hacks. If there's one scripture that sums up what we are made of, I believe this is one of the best ones that says it best. So, it in Psalm 139, verse 13 to 14, it says, "For you created my inmost being; you knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well." Do you feel that about yourself today? You feel like you are very special, a very special creation of God? Do you feel that you have been carefully and wonderfully made by God's hands Himself? Do you feel that? Okay. If not, know it from the scripture itself. Know that you are a very special individual. And what we are made of, all of us, each one of you, all 117 of us here in this session, and of course those who are out of this session, we are all made of God particles. We have heavenly compositions in us, and we are made by God's hand Himself. There are many things, of course, that build up our identities, aside from what we say, God particles and heavenly compositions. Um, some of it would be our beliefs, our backgrounds, our experiences, our personalities, our convictions, our character, our culture, our appearance, our physical appearance that makes up our personality as well, our strengths, our weaknesses, our blood, okay, your family, okay, our race, our gender, our nationality, religion, social status. All of these things build up our identities. But today we look at of the things that two of these that makes us up. We create a dichotomy between personality and character. Which of the two is more important? But first, let me define. Personality, I saw this in Google, and it says it's beautifully defined as who we are and what we do when everybody is watching. So it's how we act, how we speak, how we interact with others, what we think, but when we interact with others, and what we show others. Are we happy? The emotions we show others. So the personality is something visible to other people. But character is who we are and what we do when nobody is watching. So even if you when you are alone, that's the character. That's who we really are. So just like the picture in this presentation, you see that the roots are the character, and the branches, the trunk, the leaves, and then maybe the fruits, that's our personality. What is seen above ground is our personality. So which of the two are important? Which of the two is more important? Can you please maybe answer in the chat? Take a vote. Uh, or maybe we have a poll here, but character, personality or character, which is more important? The other, the roots, of course, yes. When you say the roots, that's personality, that's character. The tree, the trunk, the leaves are the are is personality. Okay, so many are voting character. Okay, there's one personality over there. Uh-huh. Okay, great. So looks like everybody's answering character. But my but I'd like to share with you that actually they're both important. As in, they're both important. A personality. It's just like, look at the tree. You look at the whole tree. The root is important. Because, of course, how can the tree eat and grow without the roots? And in fact, if you're a plantito or a plantita, you take care of the roots very well. Otherwise, the plant won't grow. Okay? But of course, the trunk and the leaves and the fruits are important. Otherwise, what do we eat the fruit for? Diba? The roots for. I mean, um, you don't really enjoy so much the roots unless it's kamote. Diba? You eat the root crop. You enjoy the fruits of the tree. So they're both important. One more reason why personality and character are important, equally important. One, personality is the one that's God given, God created, God designed. You're designed to be your persona, while character is something that you build yourself from the choices you make every single day. You build your character. God builds God has made your personality. So, to make you up, they're both important. Personality is what you do, how you do it. For example, in this teens conference, what have you done? When you registered, when you came in the session, did you sit on a chair? Did you fellowship? Did you join the what's that, sprint meets, or did you sit in one chair and just maybe waited for some people to uh, to sit down and maybe talk to you? So it's the how, and it's the what, the where you do it, and the when you do it. When do you want to be, showing up happy? When do you want to be just be quiet? Sometimes, our personality defines the what, how, where, and when. But the why is always the character. Okay, our whys define character, or character exposes our whys. So if you'd see, personality is very visible, character is primarily invisible, but sometimes it can get exposed. Let's go to personality first. Okay, let's define this better. Personality is a combination of consistent and enduring personal characteristics that makes a person unique. So when you talk about consistent, it has to be consistent because it's not just what we feel today, but it's something that we always show consistently. Otherwise, it's just emotions. So if you're a gregarious person, if you're friendly, so wherever we put you, whenever, then you're always friendly, right? That's the most consistent uh, uh, behavior that you show. Okay? And of course, there will be times you're not you just want to be quiet, but most of the time you are. Or personality what would be consistent for you. You're always reading a book. You just want so much time to just read a book, and um, you're happy being alone, and get absorbing all of the information that you want. That's If that's consistent with you, then that's your personality. It has to be enduring personal characters, and it makes you unique. So I'm going to share with you some personality types, and I'd like you to get to know your personality type better. There are four major classifications: the analysts, the diplomats, the sentinels, the explorers. And you can log on to 16personalities.com, but not today, not yet. You can do that after this one and then find out. But let me just go through each of it. Let's see the different types, and see how you will be labeling yourself. So as I go through each, kind of find out which one you are. Okay. So first, there you go. We have the diplomats. Under diplomats, we have four types. So if you take the test, the test will tell you which one you are specifically. So under diplomats are four. One is an advocate. The advocate is quiet and mystical, yet very inspiring, and tireless idealists. Well, one example, good example, we haven't met him, but we read a lot about him. It's Plato. So if you're Plato-like, you are an advocate. The next is mediator. Mediators are poetic, kind, and altruistic people, always eager to help a good cause. Those are mediators. And good examples would be Tolkien. If you watch or read his book, Lord of the Rings, Van Gogh, J.K. Rowling. You can see the type of work that they're in, no? So they are mediators. And the next is protagonist. Charismatic and inspiring leaders. They're able to mesmerize their listeners. A good example is Johnny Depp. So so he's a protagonist. A campaigner. A campaigner is enthusiastic, creative, and sociable, free spirited, who can always find a reason to smile. They're the campaigners. When you enter a room, they're smiling at you. They're gonna make you feel comfortable. An example of this is Mark Twain, the writer Mark Twain. We go now Two, explorers. Explorers. We have the virtuoso. They're bold and practical experimenters. They're masters of all kinds of tools. Whatever you make them do, they can do it. You know, all around. Handyman types, virtuosos. An example is Bruce Lee and Eminem. The adventurers. Are you adventurers? Maybe a lot of you are because you're teens. Um, they're flexible and charming artists, always ready to explore and experience something new. Examples would be Avril Lavigne. Lady Gaga is an adventurer. And then for entrepreneurs, they are smart, energetic, and very perceptive people who truly enjoy living on the edge. But they take risks. These are Alfred Hitchcock, and Houdini. Do you know these? They're both. Well, Houdini is a magician. Entertainers. Entertainers are spontaneous, energetic, and enthusiastic people. They're the life of the party. Life is never boring around them. Ha, I think I know somebody who's an entertainer. And that's an example would be Beyonce, Spielberg, and Tarantino, Quentin Tarantino. So you can see where they are, what type of job they do. Next group are the sentinels. Okay, the logistician, defender, executive, and consul. Logisticians are practical and fact-minded. Um, they uh, they have they are very reliable and cannot be doubted. So, somebody who takes care of logistics, they are sentinels. An example of this is Matt Damon. If you watch his movie, we really like that kind of somebody who really looks at the detail. Matt Damon. Defenders are very dedicated and warm protectors, always ready to defend their loved ones. Some of you could be like her. And I think of Mother Teresa and Halle Berry. The executives are excellent administrators, unsurpassed at managing things or people, especially the organizers of this conference. A lot of them are executives, good executives. Examples are Natalie Portman, Martha Stewart, and Emma Watson. And then consul, they are extraordinarily caring, social and popular people, always eager to help. They love helping. And an example would be Elton John, Anne Hathaway, and Penelope Cruz. Last but not least are the analysts. Oh, analysts. These are architects who are imaginative and strategic thinkers with plan for everything. Okay, they plan for everything. Just like Elon Musk. Okay, and actually Zuckerberg and Elon Musk are both architects. Logician, okay, they are innovative inventors with an unquenchable thirst for knowledge. And that's Albert Einstein. Commander, bold, imaginative, strong-willed leaders, always finding a way or making one. An example would be Margaret Thatcher, George Clooney. And then a debater, smart and curious thinkers who cannot resist an intellectual challenge. Okay, an example would be Robert Downey Jr. Okay, and Socrates. They like to debate. They like to always share. They're curious thinkers as well. So these are the different personalities. Which personality describes you best? I want you to go to menti.com. So maybe move away from your screen, browse menti.com, and then place on the code 5836895, and so type down your answers for that question. Okay? Are you there? Go to menti.com and we'll answer this share you the screen. There you go. And which personality describes you best? So all you have to do is go to www.menti.com and use the code 5836895 and then answer. So we'll see all of your responses as you answer the menti.com here. Anyone? Are you analysts, diplomats, sentinels, or explorers? You can go. You can do that now. I hope you. It's 5836895. Yan. www. Ito sa taas. Menti.com. Type the code. So where are you guys? Where are you? So we'll see which one you are. And we'll see your entries when you answer which one you are. What do you think? Based on, okay, there are so many explorers. 28 of you. More? Great. Wow. 4 sentinels, there are few diplomats and analysts as well. It's good to have a combination of all in this one group. Diba? It's so amazing. Great. That's good to know. Good to know. Yeah. Okay, so continue answering it. You can continue to answer. And then we'll share with you later maybe the final results when everybody has answered already. All right? Okay, great. Okay, let me just move to presentation again. So we keep that open for you. Yeah. Okay, so it's good to have a feel of where you are at, but the best way is to go to 16personalities.com later on and answer that test so that you know specifically what kind of sentinel you are, what kind of adventurer you are, or what kind of analyst or um, uh, diplomat you are. So it's good. It's good to know. Actually, it helps you and it aligns you as well when you know which one you are. So we'll send you. We'll show you again the link later for that for the 16 personalities test. So it's free. Don't worry. It's very helpful. Okay. So what's really important now is that no matter what your personality type is, um, you should live it. That's the real message here. Okay, and it's and I know that your generation is a generation who doesn't like to be labeled, right? You don't want labeling. You don't want labels, but actually you're the ones who are very good at labeling. Some things we don't label before are now has a name. Um, but what's really important is that it doesn't. Yes, you're not boxed in one personality, but what's important is for you to live the way you were made to be. Live it. Live your personality. Celebrate your personality. But you have to trust your maker. God made you that way. Diba? God made you a sentinel. God made you an analyst. Diba? Parang now, okay, there's so many explorers. Diba? So many explorers. Maybe God wants more explorers in the world. Right? And maybe few diplomats. Why? A lot of the leaders are diplomats, right? And leaders are really few. But God made you that way. God gave you your personality. And you just have to celebrate your personality. My work in HR for blank years has given me so much insights about personalities and job matching or career matching. And these those who what I have learned is that those who follow their strengths, okay, or their innate personalities multiply the results or their impact when they use their abilities. When they're placed in a job where they that matches their personality, they multiply the impact. And if you have seen the examples I've given you a while ago, there are certain personalities that are cut for certain jobs, like Rowling, diba? And other authors are in one category. Certain types of they have certain types of personality, and they're good at it, diba? Even Zuckerberg and Elon Musk are in one same personality type, and they're able to make a difference. That they multiply their impact when they follow what they are made for. Okay, when you live in the way you were made to be, then that's when you can be successful, because that's God's design. That's the thing about it. It's God's design. You multiply your impact and your contribution threefold compared to those who are not fit for the position, or those who are merely doing the job. So if you don't like it, if you don't love it, it's hard. What why is that? No, it has something to do with satisfaction and then enjoyment, because you're not against yourself. Okay, when you do something that's not cut for you, there's resistance. No matter how you want to deny it, there's resistance. Part of you will resist it, and so that keeps you from um, making that impact, or performing very well. Or maybe, of course, there are cases when people do well or overcome, but for example, the one of the best examples of strength based is speed reading. Those who love to read, those who love English, those who are good at language, when they study speed reading, they multiply that ability three times. So the results are three times better. Those who are slow in reading, don't really like it, they improve well. They improve well, but just a good improvement. They pass, or they make it. But compared to those whose strength it is to read, they really multiply their abilities when they follow their strengths. Okay, so um, no matter how hard the job is, when you enjoy it, you do best. That's the same things with subjects at class or in school. Diba? When you like the subject, when you're good at math, you it's easy for you. You even do better compared to somebody who doesn't really like that detail and maybe is good in other subjects. When it comes to math, they can do it. They can practice. They can learn. They can make it. Even some would even pass or have perfect exams, but it takes a lot of effort compared to the ones who are very natural at it. So personalities are like talent, or sometimes our own talents are embedded in our personalities. So we do good on things that are natural to us. Diba? So does that mean it's okay to not be okay with things we are not good at? Let's see. So if you're not good at something, it's not your personality. For example, it's sports, and your personality is you want to be an introvert. Maybe you're an introvert and you like reading books, and then you get into sports. Are you? Does that mean that if it's not your personality, you cannot perform in certain areas, or if it's not your personality, does it mean you stay the way you are? Well, um, actually, no. No. The world says yes, it's okay to be just you, but in the Bible, as followers of Jesus, no, because even if it's not your personality, we leave a big room for growth. Okay, you leave a room for growth. So you say, especially that you are young. Okay, you are young. So many more things will happen. Your experiences will shape your personality and your identity more and more. So don't stop yet. Don't stop with what you are right now. Okay, because there's so much room for growth. And it's important that as followers of Jesus, as somebody influenced by the Bible, we don't just follow what the world says. Isaiah 29 verse 16 says, "You have everything backward. Should the potter be thought of as clay? Should what is made say of its maker, he didn't make me? Should what is shaped say of the one who shaped it, he doesn't understand?" So we follow the potter. We continue to be shaped. The world says, love yourself, but the Bible says, deny yourself. Sometimes if you feel like you're an introvert, you don't want to talk to people, deny yourself. Go out and talk to people. If you're used to doing things on my own, okay, that's what the world says. That's what the world is okay with. But the Bible, Jesus teaches we're all in this together. Go out and be with a team. Go out and work with some other disciples because we're all in this together. If the world says my dream, my future, my talent, about my education, it's all you, just you. No, you go God's dream, God's mission, God's God's vision for you and for the church. So even if it's not your personality, you leave room for growth. One more thing I'd like to share with you what we call what I call the weird principle. Something still again on personality. I'm gonna share with you the weird principle. Okay, so we're now point three, point four, weird principle. Weird means we expect individuals to be really different. Okay? We expect individuals to be really different. And you see, just for 134 of us here, there are already different personalities, right? And we expect that from individual. And I mean, it's really expect it. Don't expect people to think the same way you do, or act the same way you do, or expect them to react the same way you will be reacting when there's an event or there's something. So what excites you will be maybe something that doesn't excite another person. And you should expect that. That's okay. You accept it. And for me, it was one of the hardest, well, not hard, but one of the very late realizations I've had in life, being an extrovert um, and very outward. I always thought people think the same way as I do, compared to somebody who's introvert and and very thoughtful of other people. They analyze you, they read you. I don't do that to people. I don't read people. Contrary to my profession, psychology, I don't read people. I just accept them the way they are. So it's a late realization to know for me to know that, oh, they don't think the way I do. Okay, they don't feel the same excitement on certain things that I'm excited with. For example, when somebody says, "Oh, it's a holiday, we can go out to Tagaytay or we can go out to the beach," I realize, oh, some people would just don't want to go to the beach. They'd rather think of that extra holiday as I have the time to read my books, diba? So we have to accept that people are weird. Okay, it's important because our interactions with other people our understanding of other people is affected by that kind of principle, the weird principle. If we believe it, it's easier for us to interact with others. It's easier for us to understand other people and work with them well. Okay. So, um, if you're in a, for example, you're in a team and you have a group work, some of your classmates will be very good at, maybe analyzing or reading or researching. Some would be, they don't like those paperwork. They don't like to do that, but they're very good at interviewing or going out and, okay, I'll do the logistics. I'll be the one to go to Divisoria and buy the materials. See, now if you if you hold on to that weird principle, you'll be able to give each member the type of work that fits them, and they'll do better in that job. Okay, that's what I learned from HR. Another thing, and I'm closing here in terms of personalities, is that celebrate those differences. Okay, you don't just celebrate your own personality, but you always also celebrate the differences. And this is something that I also learned, um, that we are like puzzle pieces. Okay, puzzle pieces. We have bumps. The bumps would be the bumps are like that pala. And then the crevices, di ba? And then when we put together, we make perfect. Okay, and sometimes you go to a team and you see that, oh, there's so many people better than me. That girl is just so good at um, at sports, and she's so good at speaking, and wow, that's a very pretty Canva presentation that you made, and you're not like that. It's okay. You celebrate the difference. You have your own strength, you have your own role, you have your own bumps and crevices, and you fit perfectly with somebody else. Other bumps, other people's bumps will also mean maybe something negative to you, something you're weak at, or something you don't like, but it complements you. When you're in a team, for example, you're with somebody who's just, you know, speaks so well or very frank and very provocative, and then you're not like that. No, given that we leave a room for growth. Those people sometimes you don't like them. Those people are the ones perfecting you, and sometimes what they do hurts you. But when you think you celebrate differences, they're the ones perfecting you. Then it's easier. Your walls, you break down the walls, and you have better relationships because you have acceptance of the different personalities of others. So I hope you learn that about personality. Okay. Now we get about go be lit about character. Character is defined as the mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual. It includes traits that reveal themselves only in specific and often uncommon circumstances. Traits like honesty, virtue, and kindness. It's exposed, okay, exposed on certain circumstances. It says, your choices reveal your real character. In storms or hardships, okay, these are circumstances that reveal character really well. Okay, like a storm exposes the roots of a tree. Your character comes out. Even if your personality is, happy, encouraging, accommodating, uh, uh, when it comes to storms or some hardships in your life, that even if that's what you show, the hardship will really will open up who you really are. Are you really happy? Are you really someone who's uh, joyful on the inside? This is something that the storms, the hardships reveal our character. And there are certain things, the character hacks I'd like to share with you. There are three. One, identify what inspires. Two, imitate the good, and then initiate the past. So there are three I's for creating personal brand, or three I's of the character hacks. Um, a great scripture is Philippians 4 verse 8 and Romans 5 verse 4. And Romans 5 says, "And endurance produces character, and character produces hope." Endurance, character. See that? So amazing. Let's see. Who inspires you? Who are the people that inspire you? So maybe you can write it out down in the chat. Sino ba yan? Family member ba yan? Is that somebody from the church? Or is that somebody from a K-pop group? Or whoever you're following in Instagram? Or you have Facebook? Or somebody who you are following with in Twitter? Who inspires you? Maybe write there in the chat the specific name of that person who inspires you. Why do they inspire you? Are they, maybe really talented singers, talented actors and actresses? Are they great leaders? So maybe you're number one in school, really inspire you, or maybe another teenager, right? For me, in Instagram, I follow Greta Thunberg. I'm really inspired by that little girl, teenager. And so for you, who is it? Who inspires you? Because who inspires you, uh, it's important to find out, because you have to identify what inspires, and that those character that inspires you is something that you can build up for yourself as well. Build it up in you. And a great character hack is, look at the 8 inspiring characters of God. And it says, one, holy, holy, holy. God is holy. Another character is love. God is constant. God is consistent. God is sovereign. God is faithful. God is just. God is merciful. God is gentle. These are the 8 inspiring characteristics of God. Characters of God. So if you want to build in your character, again, character is something we build. Okay, it's up to us to build our character. You can choose the characters of God. You build it in yourself. Well, we can't be sovereign, but at least we can learn what He does, being a sovereign God, or learn about His sovereignty uh, to know more about leadership, something like that. Also, I challenge you to do that in your quiet times. When you read the Bible, just search for those inspiring characters of God. There are more than these 8, but at least I'm sharing you 8. So you can do that. Practical tips in your quiet times. Just search for the inspiring characters of God, and then you can imitate. You can identify which one inspires you. Just a tip from somebody who also studies the future of work. I study the future of work. It's part of my job in HR. You have to future-proof your identity. And these are characters that will make you thrive in the future. I've read a lot of researches and papers, what the jobs in the future will be, or what will be needed in the future. And these are what's listed: empathy, learning orientation, team orientation, being analytic, resilient, and service. Okay. But we want to, push it up the next level or better level, because when we're God, when we're disciples, when we follow Christ, we always do better than the world. Instead of empathy, we go for compassion. Instead of learning orientation, we go for humility. Team orientation is just really love for others. Being analytic is being thoughtfulness, thinking of others. Really, not spontaneous, okay, but giving it more thought, uh, and using the wisdom of God. That's very useful in the future. Resilience, yes, resilience is good, but as disciples, we talk faith, right? And instead of just simple community service, it's about servant leadership when it comes to being a disciple and growing up in the kingdom. So these are very important things. You can learn more about them to future-proof your identity. Okay, the characters you have to build in yourself so that you can be successful in the future. People like us, people like me in the HR, really will be looking for these characteristics in the jobs of the future. Okay. Okay. Number 2, in character hacks is imitate the good. Okay, for you who are gamers, for you who like to play online, you have to deconstruct who you play. I know some of the things that it's fun doing in online is actually choosing a character, right? Yeah, but you have to remember bad company corrupts a person's good character. It's First Corinthians 15 verse 33. That's why you choose. Okay, you choose what character you follow. First, you surround yourself with good people. Okay, who do you follow on Instagram? Honestly, who do you see in your feed every day or in Twitter? Who do you listen to every day? Are they influencing you to be closer to God, or your personality now follows who you follow in Instagram? No, oh, I saw this kind of post. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna do the same selfie. I saw it's nice, pretty. Oh, this is the fashion. This is the trend. Oh, I'm gonna do the same thing. Oh, my favorite character in TikTok did that. I'm gonna do the same thing. It's okay. It's okay. It's fun to do that. But what I'm saying is, you make sure you follow a character that's really good. Okay. Um, Find out as well how they are forming your beliefs or your preferences, especially your choices. Diba? Some of the artists are now the ones influencing your purchase decision. So yeah, be careful. Okay, number two, be the good character that influences others. Have you influenced someone to follow God? How about those younger than you, or those older than you, or your cousins or your friends? Are they following God? Have you influenced them? Are you the good character that influences them? Okay. Have you helped another person to do the right thing? Okay. When they come to you and then they're probably deciding, or they come to you, they're depressed, they're anxious, and they come to you, what do you say? Do you influence them to do the right thing? Your character will show. Okay, how far can you influence? Can your influence go? So that's how far can your influence go? Is it just maybe one friend, your little brother, your little sister, or bigger influence? Can you reach more? Can you reach more people? It's important to reach more people. Okay, here are some characters you can follow instead and learn more about instead. You study the Bible characters you can follow or not, because there are also negative or bad characters in the Bible. Read them, know them, and then don't follow them, right? So you imitate the good. And these are my favorites: Joshua, Daniel, and of course Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego as well. Ruth for girls, and then Gideon. These are my favorite characters in the Bible. You can just read more about them and imitate the good in them. So that's another tip in your quiet time. If you feel like boring, the reading is boring, look at the characters and see what you can learn from the people in the Bible. So that's a good character hack. Lastly, initiate the pass. Let your character shine. Okay? In Psalm 78, verse 4, it says, "We will tell the next generation the praiseworthy deeds of the Lord." This is what we're doing. Your titos, your titas, the coordinators right now in the teens ministry, this is what we feel. We were once teens. We were once the ones, we were once the ones being influenced, being led, being trained. And now it's our chance. We teach you. And this is what we feel. We teach you, the next generation, the praiseworthy deeds of the Lord. You can also do the same. Initiate the past. The key word is Initiate. Initiate. Okay? And I know this word is a very hard word for teenagers. You'd rather be told, or actually don't want to be told, but you want to do your own thing, but you kind of wait. You're very passive. What's important, a challenge is take action. Take action, do your own thing, explore, okay, find out, go out. Well, not go out physically, but explore wherever the quarantine allows you to explore. Ba? Explore relationships, explore other things than what you're studying right now at school. Expose yourself. Try a project. Try a community project. Expose yourself to something hard. Okay, try test yourself. Okay, find out your limits. Okay, take action. Experience, because all of these things add to your character. Okay, then when you hit a wall, for example, it helps you in your experience. You expose yourself and maybe help somebody online, like maybe volunteer or maybe invite or ask. Di ba? Initiate is hard for teens to do now. You think a lot about um, what other people would think or what other people will say. Why don't you take the risk and check and see what it does to you? When you expose yourself, when you explore, it teaches you. It binds your character. Okay, it molds your character. And it's good to fail. Okay, you'd go out and try it so that when you fail, you learn better. Okay? Number two, create ripples, make waves. Create ripples, make waves. That's how you initiate. Maybe you could just start with small things, like coming up with a gratitude poster, or maybe sending out cards and greetings to other teens, or maybe you have new teenagers, new kids in the teens ministry. Maybe initiate a little, prayer time, things like that. Little things make a big difference, right? And then, yeah, when I was young, when I was a teenager, this is a big thing. This is a tagline: think global, act local. I'm bringing it back to you. I know this could be, um, uh, very old saying, but that's where I started. You think global. You don't just think your school, your house, your community, your sector, your region. You think Earth. You think world, because you're in the internet. You can make a big difference. That's why I like Greta Thunberg. Okay, she just made a simple strike. She had a strike for the environment, and now she's really done great things for the earth. How about you? Will you take action? Will you make a difference? You don't. You initiate the pass. Initiate the pass. You know what? It builds your character. The challenge is, I want to give you that example, a good Samaritan, the example of a good Samaritan. You know the story. And I like to quote even Margaret Thatcher. She's a ENT. What's her personality? A commander. Hmm. She once observed that no one would remember the Good Samaritan if he only just had good intentions. If he didn't actually act on it, he had a good intention, he would be remembered. But what did he do? He acted on the good intention. He helped the he helped somebody, diba? Even gave him money. He went the extra mile. That's why he's being remembered for it. That's my challenge to you. Act on it. Something that will make you feel nervous, something that will make you sweat, scared. Those are good moments. Okay, go out, expose yourself, and do something the extra mile. It builds your character. In closing, be reminded that our character is exposed by our choices. Okay? The choices you make, our choices, build up our character as well. What will you choose to do today after learning this session? We have covered 6 points: what we're made of, the dichotomy, the labels, the weird principle, the being lit about character, and the character hacks. And now I'd like you to uh, share your thoughts. You maximize every experience. I want you to enjoy every bit of the conference as well. You can go back to menti.com, same code 58368995. You can share your thoughts there. I'll post the next two other questions, and I hope everybody learned a lot today. Thank you very much.
All right. Let's give a big hand kay Tita Mitch. Again, thank you, Tita Mitch, for a great lesson. I hope you guys learn a lot. Okay lang ba, Tita Mitch, if we can have a time of Q&A?
Sure, that would be
All
great.
right. Maybe if you have question, raise your hand. Meron dyan button raise. You can raise your hand. Do you have
So
any question? Maybe
I
we
can
can
share
entertain.
the questions in Menti if that's okay.
Uh,
This is it. What we have learned from the personality. This is the answer, and
di-
then the next. Uh, See that, and then um, where are you? So if you have questions about that, you can tell me.
all right.
I'll also share.
Si Josh Alego from ICOC Cebu. May question siya. Josh, I'll hand you the mic. Okay, I'll hand you the mic. Oh, did you raise your hand? Oh, wala. Okay, do you have any question? Wala si Josh. Wala si Josh. Baka
Who
napindot
wants
siya.
to say something? Yeah, you can raise your hand, and
Alright.
then we'll give you the mic.
Alright. Anybody? If you have a question, just raise your hand. Wala po.
So for those who want to answer the menti.com, the question is, what three character traits will you build in yourself in the next 100 days? The code number is 5836895. Discipline, wow. Okay. Ooh, cool. Be more open, be more loving. Wonderful.
Okay.
So these are your entries.
Awesome.
So in the
Si
next
Prince.
100 days, so the next 3 months, okay, we'll see more and more of the teens confident, more teens humble, active teens, smart teens, encouraging. Cool.
Alright.
Be more
Si
open.
Prince Fronda. May question siya.
Oh, go ahead
Alright.
and while we
We'll
wait
have
for
it
this questions. Yes.
from Quezon City. Alright. And Prince, ano yung question mo?
Is it possible po ba na magkaroon ng sentinels at saka ng explorer at the same time po?
Can,
Parang character po.
can you repeat your question? Medyo nag-choppy eh.
Ah, possible po ba na ano para magkaroon ng yung character ng sentinels saka ng explorer at the same time?
Yes, definitely. You can be a mix of different personalities as well. Like some would be in the middle, right? Parang ano yan eh, yung left hand, right hand, merong ambivert. There are also that kind of personalities.
Alright.
Okay, thank you po.
Salamat,
So take
Prince.
the test. That it will be good to take the test so that you know where you really are. And you know what? Even if you take the test now, after 6 months, you can take it again. There could be changes. Um, yeah. So ako, I've seen that in the last year, just last year, this year, my personality for the longest time has actually changed. Something changed in me. So
When you
yeah,
all right, any
more
more questions?
questions.
Maybe we have
So we have
one
a Q and A,
more.
di ba?
Oh
Oo.
yes, yes,
Just
one
raise your
more.
hands.
All right, wala na? Okay, I guess that's it.
Okay,
At this
great.
time, we'll have a short fellowship break. Our next class will be at 3 p.m. It will be a separate class. For the men, please go to men's purity class by my corpus. Para naman sa mga women, no, please go to women's purity class by Kristen Abel. Again, thank you and have a great afternoon, everyone.
Okay, there's a question. Difference in personality sa character. Those who can stay here. Again, personality is something that's seen. Um, the things that we do that when others can see us, and character is something that we do when nobody sees us.
Okay. All right. Great. Okay. Okay na.
Great. Thanks
All right.
everyone.
Again, have a
Thanks for
great
listening.
afternoon. Thank you for coming.